Do you remember Alaskan Bush People? It was one of the most famous TV shows that changed the story, or maybe even how you watch reality shows. Did you ever think about what happened to them since the show went on break and didn't come back? Don't think anymore. Hold on tight, because we're about to go on an adventure as we uncover the secrets of Alaskan Bush. Some people cast dead or jailed cast members. The Alaskan Bush People. Alaskan Bush People is an American reality TV show in the style of a docudrama. It thrills viewers by showing the rough lives of the Brown family as they try to stay alive in the harsh conditions of a remote desert. The first episode of the show aired on the Discovery Channel on May 6, 2014. And very quickly, it became popular all over the world, which led to the creation of more shows. The reality TV show is about a family of 9 people who choose to give up their easy life so that they can learn how to deal with problems by relying only on each other's help. It shows the many problems a family faces when they try to stay alive in the wilderness, where there are few supplies, no shelter, wild animals, and little to no food. The family stays in a single room, instead of the comfort they left behind. And unfortunately, they made it by hand, but it wasn't to their liking because that's what they had on hand. Getting food is more exciting because only the men are allowed to go out into the field and fish or hunt for food. The family can either go into the Alaskan bush and find food there, or they can stay put and collect plants like berries, mushrooms, and other things. They have to deal with this while going about their daily lives as if nothing happened. They would be responsible if they couldn't find the food they wanted in the wild. Ami Brown would go out and buy it. The most shocking thing is that Ami only buys those things twice a month. If they run out of stock within a month of her purchase, they have to figure it out on their own. People were talking about this show. Fans could not even picture missing a single episode because each one was so exciting. Fans were really into the show, but it ended just as they were getting hooked. There were rumors that the TV show was canceled because of a number of things going on behind the scenes. Since then, fans have held on to a small bit of hope, hoping that it will come back. Their dreams, on the other hand, don't seem to have come true. Fans don't think about the show anymore. They wonder what happened to the Brown family. Since the news came out that the TV show would be ending, things have been good and bad for the Brown family. Since the beginning of the story, the Browns have dealt with some of the unique things that only humans can, such as changes that can be seen, sudden losses, and personal triumphs. Let's find out more about what happened to the family cast members and find out if they are dead or in jail. Ralph Brown. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but that works great. Bill Brown, who is the head of the Brown family, is at the top of the list. Bill Brown was born in Fort Worth, Texas, on December 3, 1952. His childhood was very different from that of his children because he grew up in a nice upper-middle-class neighborhood. Unfortunately, Billy's life was full of bad things that made him run away to the Alaskan bush. He was only 16 years old when tragedy struck. His father, mother, and sister all died in a plane crash. He was forced to be freed from his family, which meant he gave up his rights to the family wealth while he was still trying to get over the pain of what had happened. During his teen years, Billy ended up traveling the country. When he couldn't find anything solid, he settled down as a professional fisherman in the North Pacific. Soon after, he met his lovely wife, Amy. Together, they had 7 kids: Matthew, Joshua, Bear, Gabriel, Noah, Snow, and Rain. Billy took his family into the wilds of Alaska, but it wasn't easy. He was the star of the docudrama reality show Alaskan Bush People for 12 seasons before his sad death. He was often called the show's powerhouse. Not until 2019 did people find out that Billy had been having serious lung problems for years. At first, people thought Billy's breathing problems were caused by his lungs, but a doctor later told them it was actually his heart that was getting weaker. Many times they told him that it would be best for his health to leave the high mountains. But Billy, who has always been a mountain man, said no. His son says that he told his family that he would rather die on the land he loved than live somewhere else. Billy passed away on February 7, 2021, after having a sudden seizure. He was 68 years old. This is Bear Brown on Instagram. We ask for your privacy and prayers during this hard time. May God bless everyone. This was a terrible blow to everyone who had watched the show since the beginning, not just the Alaskan Bush family. The Alaskan Bush group members were having a tough time, but as expected, they stuck to what their father had told them. In the first look at Season 13 of the Discovery Family Show, Billy's wife, Amy Brown, their daughters Rain and Snowbird, and their boys Bear, Matt, Bam Bam, Gabe, and Noah talk about what he left behind. Bam Bam: Dad always told us that one day we would have to go on without him, but we weren't ready for him to leave. Jane Branson: Maya Nicole Branson was born in Wichita Falls, Texas, on February 8, 1976. Family Tree says that she is the daughter of Larry Renee Branson and Judy Diane. A lot of people liked and admired her because she was helpful, kind, and had a big heart. In every way, she was the perfect example of calm. A few scenes into the first few seasons of the reality TV show Alaskan Bush were where she first showed off her skills. Amber married Sean Austin, and the two of them had 2 children, Braden Austin and Jace Austin. She later broke up with him, though, for reasons only she knows. At least until the day she died, they had never made up. Over time, she started having mental health problems, and to try to fix things, she turned to drugs. She did everything she could to stop the problem, and for the first few years, it looked like she was winning, until she crashed again. My sister Amy's brother Les Branson says that Amber started the fire at her house in Hudson Oaks, Texas. Reporters asked him about a woman who was found face down in her front yard and called the cops. When the cops got there, they saw that 90% of Amber's body was badly burned, he said. She told the cops that she hurt herself before they came. She said it was a test of her faith when asked why. It is said that Amber and her boyfriend lived together, but it is not clear if he was there at the time of the event. In the end, though, her boyfriend found an empty gas can that had been in the garage thrown over a neighbor's fence. Amber is said to have said bug repellent when asked directly what she had used to start the fire. Amber was found by cops and taken to a hospital in Dallas. She was rushed to the burn center. According to Les, experts told her that she would not be able to survive her injuries. At her family's wish, she was taken off of life support on April 30th. She died early the next day from her injuries. When her friends and family heard the terrible news, they couldn't believe it, but they told her how sorry they were. Many people loved and respected her because she was kind, generous, and had a big heart. Unfortunately, she also had a disease that made her weak. She will always be in our hearts. Since she was Amy Brown's niece, there seemed to be a connection between them that made her break down. The cast of Alaskan Bush was shocked by this news and found it hard to keep up with the flow. Amazingly, they were able to do it. Bear Brown. Bear Brown is next on the list. He is one of the kids of the family patriarch, Billy Brown. Bear Brown was born on June 10, 1987, as Solomon Isaiah Freedom Brown. Bill and Amy Brown have 3 sons. This is their first child to grow up in Alaska. No one thought at first that he would love the Alaskan trip because he grew up in the woods with his siblings, but he fell deeply in love with the journey. He learned how to hunt, fish, make shelters, and stay alive in difficult environments as a child. He also grew to love adventure and dangerous sports, which is how he got the name King of Extreme. He went to school with his brothers and sisters at home, where books and nature were his masters. Even though he didn't go to school or college, he learned a lot from his folks and his own interests. He also liked to read comic books and watch movies on a TV that was powered by a generator. It was his dream to be a superhero, or one day, a movie star. Bear Brown and Raven Adams met at the wedding of their brother Noah in 2018. At the time, Raven was helping her mom Cassidy, who was in charge of photography, and they fell in love at first sight. They were happy together, and Bear later admitted that she was the whole deal. Bear Brown's first job on TV was as a cast member on Alaskan Bush People in 2014. He added something special to the show with his odd skills, and no one would have lowered his potential if the show had gone on. Bear is loved for his love of animals and outdoors, as well as his energy and lack of fear. He is known to often howl at the moon, run on all fours, and climb trees. But he also had to deal with an unexpected problem that put him in jail, which was the last thing he thought would happen. As soon as he and his new love started to grow closer as friends, they had strong disagreements that quickly turned into a time bomb that went off. He got in trouble with the law when he was arrested on a charge of domestic abuse. Up until this point, Bear, his wife, and their son had been living near the family land until the boy got into the hands of the police. Bear was caught near his home on March 11, 2022, on charges of fourth-degree assault and domestic violence. He was taken to the Okanogan County Jail, spent the weekend in jail after being caught, and was let out without bond. Police say that the Alaskan Bush star did not have any drugs or alcohol in his blood, and did not choke or strangle Raven. In April 2022, Bear took a plea deal. Since then, he has changed and become a good father. Until the TV show starts up again, he and his family have been staying out of the public eye. Joshua Brown. Joshua Brown is the second oldest of the Brown children. He was born on September 18, 1984. From the start, Joshua had always looked like a calm guy who just wanted to explore what was written on the tablet of his heart. As a child, he and his family lived in the wilds of Alaska and learned a special set of skills for staying alive. In his early years, he moved around a lot, living off the grid and getting used to the difficulties of the Alaskan bush. His nickname, Bam Bam, came from the fact that he liked to run into walls as a child, which made people think of the character from the Flintstones. Because he is so excited about technology and school, Joshua seems a little different from his brothers. Indeed, he is still having fun in that way, even though the show has ended. Bam Bam was a big part of Alaskan Bush People when it first aired on the Discovery Channel in 2014. People could see that Bam Bam wasn't just a bystander, but came to give the show his 2 cents. Joshua's job was to help the family stay alive by finding technological answers to problems and putting them into action. His ability to think things through and his quiet personality gave him an edge in many situations. Not only that, but people who watched him loved him. The show often talked about how Bam Bam helped with the family's projects, like making shelters and coming up with hunting plans. His knowledge of machines and technology helped the family with many of their projects. Allison Kagan used to create the Alaskan show and met Joshua Brown. Over time, they fell in love. After being friends at first, they started dating in November 2016. Soon after, their relationship went in a new direction, and Joshua's life changed in a big way. Because of this connection, Bam Bam had to take time away from the family to focus on his personal life, which meant he missed some episodes of the show. It's great that he's active on social media, especially Instagram, where he posts information about his life and projects, but he didn't do much on the show. In the same way that he was known for something unique on the TV show, his life had a terrible road that made people doubt his honesty. All of this started when the Brown family got into a lot of trouble with the law in 2014. After that, Billy, Amy, and 4 of their children were charged with 60 counts of theft and fraud. The only reason they were charged was because they lied about living in Alaska from 2011 to 2013 in order to get benefits from the Alaska Permanent Fund. It was eventually found out what they were up to, and they had to pay the price. The family did, however, agree to a plea deal that ended the case for good and stopped any further problems. Joshua and his dad, Billy Brown, had to go through something they never thought they would have to before it was over. In exchange for a plea deal, they both admitted to 1 count of second-degree unsworn falsification. This is part of a criminal case that has made people wonder how long the group of Discovery Channel's Alaskan Bush People really lived in Alaska. Both of them got 30 days in jail because they lied on their Alaskan Fund dividend forms. Bill Brown has to pay a $10,000 fine and return $7,956 in dividends that were gained illegally in exchange for their guilty pleas. Joshua Brown owes a $2,000 fine and $1,174 in profits. Both of them have to do 40 hours of volunteer work. They will never be able to get the reward again. While this was going on, it was hard for the father and son, but they kept going and took a strong legal stand afterward. Joshua has been involved in a number of personal projects and business ventures that he felt were important for his health outside of the show. He really enjoys taking pictures and often posts his results on social media sites. It's also worth mentioning that his love of fishing has been well recorded both on and off the show. He has been working hard on improving his tech skills over the past few years. According to reports, he has worked on projects related to technology and clean energy. His interest in technology has had a big impact on his career, even though specifics about his business activities are not widely known. It rained Brown. As an Alaskan cast member, Rain Brown, as she is affectionately known, has had some rough times. The United States Raindrop Brown was born in Hoonah. She is the daughter of Amy and Billy Brown. Her folks looked up to her a lot because she is the youngest of their children, was in the group from the beginning, and stayed until the show ended. People who like the Alaskan Bush Show saw Rain Brown when she was a little kid, taking care of the animals on the farm her family owns and playing with toys. Grew up in the mountainous area of Hoonah with her 6 older brothers. She said that their trip through the Alaskan bush was a little scary for her, but she had to go with them because she had to keep up with the others. Her family is different from her, even though she grew up in the bush. She has a strong sense of taste, unlike some people. She likes her clothes to match and be neat. Besides that, she likes to read books. The Nancy Drew tales are her favorite type of book. She is the most controversial part of her family on the Alaskan Bush TV show. First, she was in a lot of trouble because of rumors that she was involved with TikTok. A short time after she joined TikTok in January 2023, she was banned from the social media site. TikTok banned her because they thought her account was fake and she was going by someone else's name. Rain was able to get back into her account after calling TikTok's customer service and proving who she was. But before that, she had been picked on several times on social media. Even though that was meant to be the last time, she got into another scandal that made people look twice. The whole thing started up again when rumors spread on the internet that she was married or engaged, as some of her fans saw a ring in one of her Instagram posts. At the time, no one knew anything about her personal life, so the scandal didn't last long. However, it did have an effect on the Alaskan Bush cast member. Soon after, she met Josiah Lorton at the restaurant where they both worked. Josh was the head cook, and Rain worked as a waitress. They quickly became friends and then fell in love. In 2024, she first said they were dating. Always thankful for this guy. My love, my child, my guardian angel, my hero, my home, and my life. Few are lucky enough to find their someone. and even fewer are blessed enough to have found that someone so young and in such a strange place, she wrote on Instagram in January 2024. Because of Josiah, I know what true, pure, honest love is. He continues to show me every day how beautiful life can be. In the end, things turned out well for them and got married in January, but no one knew that in the months to come, they would have to deal with something they weren't ready for. Police say that Rain Brown and her husband, Josiah Lorton, stole $75,000 in cash, guns, and other things from a family member. According to court papers, Josiah's uncle, Jason Erst, told police in Wakanda, Washington, about the alleged break-in. He said that Rain and Josiah were the most likely people to have been at his rental home when several things were stolen. $75,000 in cash, $85,000 in gold, $8,000 worth of wine and champagne, a gun worth $2,500, a second pistol worth $450, a revolver worth $650, and a $250 marijuana bong were all said to have been stolen. Jason said something shocking. He told Josiah the only person where the guns, cash, and other valuable things were kept. He did this because he thought Josiah would only be at the property to steal those things. That was not all Jason did. Besides that, he said that Josiah helped him hide his valuables at his house while he was going through the hard parts of his divorce. The story went on without addressing Rain, whose real name is Catherine Raindrop Brown. Jason said that a neighbor had video of Josiah and Rain on their land. The report also says that a cop said he saw Josiah with guns that looked like the ones that were reported stolen in the days after the break-in. He and Rain were also said to have had wine that looked like one of the bottles that went missing from Jason's house. Rain and Josiah were both caught and charged with theft and malicious mischief in the first degree. Rain Brown was also charged with criminal trespass in the second degree. In the end, they were taken to the Okanogan County Jail in Washington and held there for 3 days. They were later let go without bail, though. Rain and Josiah went to court and pleaded not guilty to all charges. They will be back in court later. In a strange turn of events, she broke her silence in an Instagram post after being arrested. Fans think that both of these things have something to do with the claimed burglary, but it's still not clear if she was just hinting. I'm going to give you this Bible verse. Do not judge, or you will be judged. What you judge is how you will be judged, the post said. It hurts my heart that my rainbows would choose to believe the lies that my old boss stole $43,000 from me and treated me badly instead of maybe thinking, oh no, who is saying this about Rain? Or, wow, what a waste. It hurts my heart very much. After reading all of this, I hope you'll stay to hear my side of the story. Have a great day. She and her husband are still living their best lives while they wait for the later court date. They are hoping that everything will be okay. Since the most recent episode of the reality TV show, the group has had a number of problems. No one knows if they will be able to keep up the flow they had before the break when the show finally comes back. There is also truth in the fact that the Alaskan Bush TV reality show had to deal with some of the nastiest lies ever. People who don't like them will still be able to come that far, even if they get back on air. Let's look at some of the things that people said about the Alaskan Bush People show before it stopped airing. Charges brought against the Alaskan Bush reality show on TV. A big accusation that hurt the family came from fans outside the family who purposely played down the efforts of the Discovery Channel, which aired the show. The Discovery Channel has had a big impact on how people think about the Alaskan Bush People since the show started in 2014. But critics went too far when they said the network put entertainment value ahead of reality, which could lead to situations being acted out more than they really were. In the end, this led to the lies that the scenes were fake, and the stories were made up to get more viewers. The marketing plans for the service have also been looked at closely. Some viewers think Discovery shows an idealized picture of living in the wilderness that isn't really like that. Some people are wondering what the network should do to properly reflect Alaskan culture and way of life. Some critics say Discovery might not care about cultural sensitivity in order to make interesting TV. Some people think that Discovery's editing of the show might have lied about what happened or how the characters interacted. This has made people argue about where the line is between reality TV and planned entertainment. People who know how the Brown family really lives have also criticized the way they were portrayed as rough-and-tumble forest dwellers. Reports say that a lot of people have asked why they were so secretive about spending a lot of time in more relaxed places when they weren't shooting. It got so bad that some people who live in the Alaskan towns said the show doesn't show how people really live in the bush, say that the Browns don't have enough real-life survival skills and experience. There were also many questions about the family's real ties to Alaska, since records showed they had lived in other places for long periods of time. And this caused a fight. Over time, they were attacked for many reasons about the Alaskan Bush TV show. In the past few years, reviewers have also said that the show's self-acclaimed use of what is available in the wilderness experience was just a front to make it look real. The reviewers came to the conclusion that the Alaskan Bush family didn't need to lie about their relationship with wildlife, since it was clear that they relied on modern tools and resources more than the ones shown on screen. For those many years, the Alaskan Bush reality TV show had to deal with these and many other problems. Are they going to be able to get past all of these obstacles that have piled up like bricks? Time will tell. Now, though, we're going to call it a day and not go any further. In what ways do you feel about the Alaskan Bush People series? Can they hold up if they magically start showing again? What do you think? Tell us in the comments, and if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like and follow buttons. Watch the other videos on your screen before you leave.